Welcome back everyone. I installed iPadOS 14 on an iPad Air 2, which is actually really interesting because I didn't even think this thing was going to be getting iPadOS 14, but right now we are on beta 2, and what I can tell you right now is that, iPadOS 14, luckily it runs pretty well on my iPad Air 2, and mostly because it really wasn't a crazy big update unlike iOS 14. So, I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. So, if you have an iPad Air 2, when you officially get iPadOS 14, because I wouldn't recommend installing it now, you're going to have a pretty good experience with it, in my opinion. You're not going to feel like you have a super buggy, outdated machine, luckily. It's going to run almost the same exact way as it was on iPadOS 13, so kind of keep that in mind. Now, some of the newer features in a way are obviously the new widget panel, which is really cool. So now you can actually go and you still can't drag these widgets out on the main screen, which is so annoying. I don't know why they did this. Kind of have a newer, cleaner widget layout, and obviously you can pin it on the side if you want to. If I go and bring it this way, as you can see, I can have it on the side and I can pin it on the side, but I just can't drag it over, unfortunately. Not even on beta 2, which is very weird. Performance wise, it's been about the same too. I actually ran a multi-core score through Geekbench finally. And for my single core score, I had a 387, multi-core score 1083, which really isn't crazy high, but for an iPad Air 2 that is on the latest version of software, it's pretty impressive in my opinion. And on my compute score, or on my metal score, I had 754. So not a bad, amount of, scoring going on here, but again, I kind of do wish at the end of the day iPadOS 14 was a bigger update. It just wasn't, which is kind of weird. Now, some other big changes, we do have a sidebar layout in a lot of different apps that are coming, which is really cool. So whether you're on the Files app or whatever you're in, wherever really, you're going to have a new sidebar panel, which is really nice. Now, I don't know why it's not showing up now, but that is kind of one main feature. Another really cool thing is that we now have Siri in the corner. So if I go ahead and enable Siri, I'll go and click continue. As you can see, Siri is in the corner, so it's right there. Now, the weird thing is that you still can't really use Siri while you're using the device because it goes away, but at least it doesn't block the whole entire display. You know what I mean? I think it would have been really cool if they had it enabled so we can go ahead and click here and still use our device, because it's the same thing on iOS 14 as well, but just swipe it away when we're done. I think that could have been a better way to do it, but again, it's like one of those things that's probably what's going to happen. Now, another thing we have is universal search, which actually doesn't take up the whole entire display, aka Spotlight Search, and you can type in whatever you want to. It's almost exactly the same thing as we have on our Mac devices, which is really, really cool. So this kind of makes me think that in the future, because of the design of this, Apple could actually bring some, actual window multitasking. So instead of split screen multitasking, actually having like pop-up window, kind of like how we have on Macs on our iPads, which that would be insane in my opinion. And we do have other things like AirPod switching, which is really cool. So if you go from your iPad to your iPhone to your iMac or whatever, it'll dynamically switch your AirPods to each machine, which is really cool. The caller UI has changed as well. The iPad Air 2 supports that, which is really cool. But really, those are really the main features and main differences on an older iPad like the iPad Air 2. Of course, there's smaller little things like that, but as a whole, if you had a pretty good experience with iPadOS 13, so far I've been messing with it for probably not even that long, for like a day or two. So far, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty decent upgrade. Even though we're on a beta, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. And I think for an iPad Air 2, it's really surprising that this thing even got it, to be honest. I will drop probably a full mid-2020 review in a little bit because I haven't had the iPad Air 2 in a while. So I'll keep you guys updated whenever that posts, but that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count. So it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly, everything else. I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.